Obamacare. They expected you not to want to do something about it, so this is what they're going to do. IRS warns Obamacare tax must be paid with your tax return. So this is what they're going to do. This is how they're going to get their money. They took a government-issued product or service, they wrapped it up as a tax, and now you're going to have to pay for it. President Obama's Internal Revenue Service today quietly released a series of Obamacare healthcare tax tips, warning Americans that they must obtain, quote, qualifying health insurance, as defined by the federal government, or face a shared responsibility payment when filing their tax returns in 2015. So the government is going to tell you how you qualify and what the situations and things are that's going to be in your package. For example, myself, a single male with no dependents, must have maternity care for whatever reason because that's in the healthcare bill. So I don't understand this notion that they're going to tell me what's responsible, what's okay, what's decent, and then I have to pay for it. I have a very big problem with that. That's why I don't want Obamacare. I'm not trying to pay these people any taxes, but they're going to get you coming and going, whether you sign up for Obamacare and you have your rates go up, you maybe drop from your plan in California, Florida, or other places, many other places. If nothing else, you're going to have to pay out the wazoo as far as these taxes are concerned. So this is just another reason. You're talking about he's going to do more. This is doing more. He's going to take it straight out your tax return. And another way he's doing more, immigration reform. Obama eases penalties for businesses hiring illegal immigrants. Now, I've said this on the show many times, and I still stand firm. I have no issue with people coming here legally, naturalization, joining the military and so forth. But when you have programs like Border Patrol and ICE and you say we're just going to award the people who can sneak past them, I have a very big issue with that. Then why did people like Brian Terry have to die? Why did he have to get murdered when we're just going to award the people who can sneak past him? I'm not saying that all immigrants are collectively responsible for his murder, but when you endorse people, when you say if you sneak past the border and you make it to Texas, you can get free education, I have a very big problem with that. I'm from Oklahoma. I don't get free education here. The Obama administration regularly cuts breaks for businesses who hire illegal immigrants, reducing their fines by an average of 40% from what they should be, according to an audit released Tuesday that suggests the government could be doing more to go after unscrupulous employers. Once again, you want to come here legally, do the legal process, that's all good, but don't award people who sneak past the measures and then act like we have a border control crisis. We have all this gun crisis in Mexico, even though the ATF's running guns down there. It makes absolutely no sense. And something that didn't make sense to me this past, I guess, last month when we went to California is the excessively high levels of radiation. And then this denial, oh, it was climate change or whatever. I don't understand that at all, how climate change has to do with radioactivity. But it is, I guess, some ways the climate, the water, that brings this radiation over. Because we went to California and we met people from as far north as Alaska. And they said they saw debris from the Fukushima, well, not necessarily the Fukushima, but from the Japan tsunamis. And I said, how do you know this debris came from Japan? They said, well, these big tankers and all these other things, these big piles of debris, and they have Japanese writing on them. So my thought was, well, if the debris can come from Japan, why can't the radiation come with it? And that's the article that we have here today by Paul Joseph Watson. Researchers have announced that radioactive isotopes from the Fukushima nuclear disaster have been discovered in seawater west of Vancouver off the coast of Canada, confirming predictions that the radiation would reach the West Coast by early 2014. So if you're on the West Coast, this is real. It's, you know, it never was a conspiracy theory, but people try to brush it off as such. So research it, do whatever you have to do. I'm not saying you necessarily have to evacuate, but at least take some steps, take the nascent iodine that we sell at the InfoWars shop, do something to protect yourself and your family because the government's not going to do it because they're saving all the iodine and all the other things for themselves. You can go see that report by Anthony Gucciardi.
The globalists have controlled the mainstream media for a long time, but now they're expanding, making the weaponization even more vicious and deceptive. All the major networks are state-run.
We are partnering this year with the NFL.
The NFL has become a political weapon against the Second Amendment and pushes Obamacare. MSNBC tells us that our children belong to the state.
We have to break through our kind of private idea that kids belong to their parents or kids belong to their families and recognize that kids belong to whole communities.
The brainwashing media machine has been turned up on high, and it's time for humanity to double down on the true people's media and strike back against the tyrants that are destroying our civilization with their lies and fraud. We are the resistance. You are the resistance. You are the info war. It is more important than ever to realize that we are not the alternative media. We are the true media. The establishment dinosaur press is dying.
We are in an information war, and we are losing that war.
Join us at InfoWarsNews.com and PrisonPlanet.tv. Members can share their memberships with up to 11 people. By subscribing, you will literally be buying war bonds in the info war to expand our operation in the face of the tyrants. Join us at PrisonPlanet.tv.